Hello, welcome to Pause and Perform, your one-stop shop for all your dog training needs. Today, we're going to talk about something that many dog owners encounter but may not understand fully: reactive dogs. Reactive dogs are those who tend to overreact to certain stimuli or situations. You've probably seen it before: a dog lunging at a passing cyclist, barking incessantly at the mailman, or trembling at the sound of thunder. This behavior can stem from a variety of reasons, including fear, frustration, or excitement. Understanding why our dogs behave this way is the first step in training them to respond differently. Training reactive dogs is not just about teaching them commands. It's about helping them feel more comfortable and confident in situations that currently cause them stress. It's about building a stronger, happier bond between you and your furry friend. Now let's dive into the first step of training a reactive dog. The first step in training a reactive dog is understanding their triggers. A trigger in this context is anything that causes your dog to react. This reaction can manifest in a variety of ways, such as barking, lunging, or trying to run away. Identifying these triggers is crucial. It's like being a detective, piecing together clues to solve the mystery of your dog's behavior. Common triggers can range from other dogs and animals to loud noises, sudden movements, and even specific people or objects. For example, your dog might become anxious around large dogs due to a previous negative experience. Or perhaps the sound of thunder or fireworks sends them into a panic. Some dogs might be wary of strangers, while others could react to things as specific as hats, umbrellas, or even the sound of skateboards. It's important to remember that each dog is unique, and what might be a trigger for one dog could be completely insignificant to another. To identify these triggers, observe your dog closely. Look for changes in their body language when they encounter different situations. This might include ears perking up, tail going stiff, or starting to pant heavily. These are all signs that your dog might be feeling uncomfortable or anxious. Once you've identified these triggers, it's not about avoiding them completely. This is often not feasible, nor is it beneficial for your dog in the long run. Instead, the goal is to help your dog manage their reactions to these triggers. This is achieved through techniques such as desensitization and counter-conditioning, which we'll explore in our next scenes. Remember, the key is to understand and respect your dog's boundaries. Pushing your dog to face their triggers head-on without proper training can lead to increased anxiety and potentially make the problem worse. So take the time to understand your dog, their fears, their anxieties. This understanding forms the foundation of effective training and helps build a stronger, more trusting relationship with your furry friend. After understanding your dog's triggers, the next step is to work on desensitization. Desensitization is a crucial step in training your reactive dog. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does this mean? Well, desensitization is a process that aims to reduce your dog's reactivity towards its triggers. So, how does it work? Imagine your dog is afraid of strangers. In the context of desensitization, you would begin by exposing your dog to a stranger from a safe and comfortable distance. This distance is crucial since it should be far enough that your dog does not react but can still notice the stranger. Now, the key here is gradual exposure. You don't want to rush this process. It's like dipping your toes into a cold swimming pool before slowly wading in. You're giving your dog the time it needs to adjust to the situation. As your dog becomes more comfortable with the presence of the stranger, you slowly begin to decrease the distance. It's important to do this at a pace that your dog is comfortable with. If you notice any signs of discomfort or reactivity, it's a signal that you might be moving a bit too fast. In that case, increase the distance again and proceed more slowly the next time. Throughout this process, it's essential to ensure that your dog is relaxed and comfortable. The goal is not to push your dog into a stressful situation, but rather to help it understand that the presence of its trigger does not necessarily mean danger. It's also important to remember that desensitization is not a one-time thing. You will need to repeat this process over a period of time and with different people until your dog becomes comfortable with strangers in general. Desensitization is a powerful tool, and when used correctly, it can significantly reduce your dog's reactivity. But remember, it's a gradual process and requires patience. So take your time, understand your dog's comfort zone, and work within it. And remember, the key to success is gradual exposure and patience. Once your dog becomes comfortable with its triggers, it's time to introduce counter-conditioning. But we'll talk about that in the next scene. Stay tuned. Counter conditioning is about changing your dog's emotional response to its triggers. It's like rewriting the script in your dog's head, replacing fear and anxiety with positive emotions. Imagine this. Your dog sees a squirrel, normally a trigger that would make it anxious. But instead of reacting with fear or aggression, your dog stays calm and looks to you for guidance. That's the power of counter conditioning. Counter conditioning is a two-step process. The first step is to expose your dog to its triggers, but at a level it can handle. This could mean watching a squirrel from a distance or hearing a loud noise at a lower volume. The goal is to create a controlled environment where your dog can encounter its triggers without becoming overwhelmed. The second step is to reward your dog for positive behavior in the presence of these triggers. This could be a treat, a favorite toy, or even a cuddle. The reward should be something your dog loves, something that will make it happy. This creates a positive association in your dog's mind with the trigger. So instead of thinking squirrel equals fear, your dog starts to think squirrel equals treat. This process is not a quick fix. It takes time and consistency. You have to be patient and persistent. You have to keep repeating the process, gradually increasing the intensity of the triggers. You have to keep rewarding your dog for positive behavior, even if the progress seems slow. It's like teaching a new language to your dog, a language of calm and confidence. And like any language, it takes practice to become fluent. Remember, every dog is unique, and so is its journey through counter conditioning. What works for one dog might not work for another. The key is to understand your dog, to be patient, and to celebrate every step forward, no matter how small. Patience is key in this step, and with time, you'll see a positive change in your dog's behavior. You'll see your dog becoming more confident, more relaxed, and more in control. And that's the ultimate goal of counter conditioning, to help your dog live a happier, healthier life. The last step in training a reactive dog is consistency and patience. Consistency is the golden rule in dog training. It's the magical ingredient that makes all your efforts fruitful. Consistency means repeating the same actions, the same commands, and using the same tone of voice each time. It's about creating a stable environment where your dog can predict what's coming next. This predictability helps to build trust, and trust is pivotal in helping your furry friend overcome their reactivity. Now imagine trying to learn a new language, but your teacher changes the words' meanings and pronunciations each class. Confusing, right? That's how your dog feels when there's no consistency in their training. So stick to the rules you've set, the commands you use, and the rewards you give. Make sure everyone in the household follows these same guidelines. Patience, on the other hand, is all about managing your expectations. Remember, you're dealing with a living being who has their own fears and anxieties. Your dog isn't going to change overnight. It's a gradual process, and there will be good days and bad days. Here's a little secret. Dogs are incredibly perceptive. They can sense your frustration, and it can make them more anxious. So breathe, relax, celebrate the small victories. Each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Remember, every dog is unique. They all learn at different rates. Some might show improvement within a few weeks, while others might take months. It's crucial not to compare your dog's progress with others. It's their journey, and they'll get there at their own pace. So hold on to your consistency and patience tightly. They're your compass and your anchor in this journey. They'll guide you when you're lost, and they'll hold you steady when the winds of frustration and doubt start to blow. And one day, you'll look back at this journey and see how far you've come. You'll see a dog who's happier, calmer, and more comfortable in their skin. And you'll realize that every moment of patience, every consistent effort, was worth it. Remember, with consistency and patience, your reactive dog will gradually become more comfortable and less reactive. Training a reactive dog is challenging, but rewarding. As we've learned today, the journey to a well-behaved, balanced pup is a step-by-step process. It all begins with understanding your dog's triggers. By recognizing what sparks their reactivity, we can better shape our training approach. Next, we discuss the desensitization process. Slowly exposing your dog to their triggers in a controlled, safe environment is crucial for progress. This then leads us to counter conditioning, where we replace those negative reactions with positive associations. And last but certainly not least, we underlined the importance of consistency and patience. Training doesn't happen overnight, and it's essential to stay persistent and patient as your dog learns and grows. Thank you for joining us on Pause and Perform. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more dog training tips and tricks. Remember, every dog can perform with a little love, patience, and the right training.